Hi there. I want to wish all my family and friends around the world a very happy Sabbath. And I pray that not only is this Sabbath a wonderful blessing for you, I pray also that we make it a wonderful blessing for others as well, because that is what true Sabbath keeping is. It's blessing others. You know, a lot of times we look at the commandments and we think, well, the first 4 commandments teach us how to love God, and the next 6 commandments teach us how to love our neighbor. And that's what, Romans 13 tells us. Love is the fulfillment of the law. And so when we love people, we fulfill the law. When we love people, we don't do away with the 10 commandments. It's when we love people that we truly keep the 10 commandments. When we truly love people, we're not going to murder them. We're not going to lie about them. We're not going to commit adultery. We're going to honor our parents. It's only with love that we truly keep the commandments. So love doesn't do away with the commandments. Love is what helps us keep the commandments. And so often when we talk about the fact that the first 4 commandments teach us how to love God, and then the next 6 commandments teach us how to love our neighbors, our family, the fact of the matter is that 4th commandment teaches us how to love God and our family and our community, because that 4th commandment tells us not only to rest from our work and our secular activity and put our hearts and our focus on God, it also tells us that our sons and our daughters and our servants, anybody that comes within our gates, to those in our community, that love, that rest, and that blessing is to be extended to them as well. So that 4th commandment teaches us how to put God and others first. As a matter of fact, I've heard it said that God gave us a tithe and offering system as a systematic way to overcome selfishness with our possessions. And God has given us the weekly Sabbath as a systematic way to overcome selfishness with our time, to extend that rest, extend that Sabbath blessing to others as well. And that is just what Jesus did. In Luke 4:16, Jesus went to church, but in Matthew 12, verses 12 through 15, he also did good on the Sabbath and relieved the suffering of others on the Sabbath, and taught us that it is good, it is lawful to do good on the Sabbath. That meaning lawful, that means we keep the Sabbath by doing good for others. And that's what Isaiah was trying to teach us in Isaiah chapter 58. In Isaiah chapter 58, verse 4, in the New King James Version, it talks about people coming to fast or to worship and to debate. But then Isaiah 58 goes on and explains that's not true worship. And Isaiah 58 is also within the realm of worship, is talking about Sabbath keeping. And so it's saying that's not true worship. That's not true Sabbath keeping. Isaiah 58 explains to us what Jesus showed us, that true Sabbath keeping is relieving the oppressed, taking in the stranger, getting outside of ourselves and looking after the needs of others and being a blessing to others on the Sabbath day. We can go to church and enjoy our favorite Sabbath school class that we love to sit in because our best friends are there, and we love to debate theology like it was talking about there in Isaiah 58:4. But that's not true Sabbath keeping. After church, we may love going to the church fellowship meal and again, sitting with our best friends. But that's just pleasure seeking. If that's what all we're doing from Sabbath school through church and then fellowship dinner at church is just hanging out with our best friends, doing what we love, what we enjoy, we're really just serving ourselves. We're not getting outside of ourselves. We're not doing what Jesus was doing and being a blessing to others. As a matter of fact, at some fellowship meals after church, I've seen families just sitting by themselves at a table. And I've looked at them and I've thought, how sad. They could have been doing that at home. They could have been sitting at home by themselves. And you know, it works both ways. Why aren't they sitting with somebody else? Why aren't they sitting with the stranger, you know, or with the guest who came to church? But at the same time, why aren't others sitting with them? You know, just something to throw out there. Because the Sabbath is a time for us not just to go to church. We can go to church and still be seeking our own pleasure, as it talks about there in Isaiah 58. True Sabbath keeping is getting outside of ourselves and looking after the needs of others, looking after the stranger, the guest, looking after those who are oppressed, who need their burdens to be lightened. That is true Sabbath keeping. And that's what Isaiah 58 is talking about when it's talking about calling the Sabbath a delight. You know, real joy is found in putting Jesus and others first. You know, joy is J-O-Y, J, Jesus, O, others, Y, you. Okay? That spells joy, putting Jesus and others first. And that is true Sabbath keeping. And that is the spirit of the Sabbath. It all the way from that fourth commandment to extend that rest to the stranger within your gates, to Isaiah 58, looking after the stranger, looking after the homeless, looking after those who are oppressed, lightening their burdens. And then to, of course, Jesus, who was healing the sick and looking after those who were burdened, who were oppressed, and lightening their burdens on the Sabbath day. So friends, I hope that we have a wonderful Sabbath, a blessed Sabbath, and I pray too that we will extend that rest, that we will extend that blessing to others, and make sure that the Sabbath is a blessing for everyone, even the stranger that shows up at our church, or maybe the stranger in our community that we can reach out to this Sabbath and lighten their burdens. Have a blessed Sabbath, and make this Sabbath a blessing for someone else. God bless you. Whoops.